हरि ओम। ओम श्री गणेशाय नमः। ओम श्री हिरण्यगर्भाय नमः। ओम श्री महाविष्णवे नमः। ओम श्री महादेवाय नमः। ओम श्री महादुर्गाये नमः। ओम श्री राम रामाय नमः। ओम श्री सद्गुरवे नमः। ओम सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांतिः। ओम गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं। भवानी शङ्करौ वन्दे श्रद्धाविश्वासरूपिणौ याभ्यां विना न पश्यन्ति सिद्धाः स्वान्तस्तमीश्वरम्। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेदसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीतायाः पतये नमः। बुद्धिर्बलं यशोधैर्यं निर्भयत्वमरोगता अजाड्यं वाक्पटुत्वं च हनुमत्स्मरणात् भवेत्। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ओम नमः शिवाय 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 ओम नमः शिवाय। नमः पार्वती पतये हर हर महादेव। हरि ओम हरि ओम। So we are seeing the 16th chapter of Gita. Here Bhagwan reveals the two types of sampatti, the Daivi and the Asuri. The Daivi sampatti leads us towards moksha, and the Asuri keeps us bound to this samsara. We have to recognize this sampatti within us and give up the Asuri and strengthen the Daivi. And once the Daivi sampatti becomes strong, and when we rely on this sampatti, it will lead us towards moksha. So just as we need wealth to live in this world, to buy things, similarly, if we want that moksha, we need this inner wealth of Daivi sampatti. Okay? So let us chant this first three verses, which talks about this Daivi sampatti. So, Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha. Atha Shodashodhyayaha. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. Abhayam Sattva Samshuddhihi. Jnana Yoga Vivastitihi. Dhanam Damascha Yajnascha. Swadhyayastapārjavam. Ahimsa Satyamakrōdha. Tyāgashantirapēshunam. Daya Bhūteshvaloluptvam. Mardavam Rīrachapalam. Tejakshamatrati Shaucham. Adroho Natimanita. Bhavanti Sampadam Daivim. Abhijatasya Bharata. Bhagavan says that those who are born with Daivi sampatti, they express these characteristics. So there are 24 characteristic lakshanas, 24 virtues, 26 virtues are mentioned in these three verses, and these are the lakshanas, the signs that the person is born with Daivi sampatti. Just as we have some what you call some disease or some problem, then through the test one comes to know that what exactly is the problem. So there are some signs which are seen in the blood or in the urine, and based on that they infer that this must be the cause of this problem. Similarly, this Daivi sampatti and Asuri sampatti are hidden deep within, but their sign gets expressed in these virtues. So the signs of Daivi sampatti is revealed here in these first three verses. There are 26 signs. So we were seeing those virtues. So abhayam, fearlessness, sattva samshuddhihi, purity of the mind, jnana yoga vivastitihi, total nishtha, dedication to knowledge and experiencing that knowledge. Then dana, charity, damaha, control over our senses, yajnaha, puja of that supreme Brahma, Ishvara, or the Devatas. Then Swadhyaya, self-study, study of the Shastras. Then tapa are different types of austerities like physical, at the level of speech, at the level of mind. Then arjavam, straightforwardness in our interaction with the world around. Then ahimsa, non-violence, not to harm, hurt other beings around. Satyam, to speak the truth pleasantly for the welfare of the world around. Akrodaha, control over our anger. Tyagaha, renunciation. Shantihi, quietude of the mind. Apaishunam, absence of backbiting and talking ill of others behind their back. Daya bhuteshu, deep compassion towards all beings. Aloluptvam, not to have that covetousness in our heart, to desire, to want all things which we object, pleasurable things which one sees. Then mardavam, mruduta, softness, gentleness in our behavior. Rihi, to be ashamed of doing something wrong, bad, adharma. Achapalam, not to be restless, not to be fickle. Then tejaha, that brilliance on the body and face which comes due to one following this path of dharma, due to that inner conviction and knowledge. Then kshama, forgiveness. Dhriti, that dhairya, that ability to go on even when we are tired, even when the body is tired, the senses are tired, to go on and on. That ability, that perseverance is that dhriti. We had seen all these virtues. Now Bhagavan says shaucham. Shaucham is cleanliness. Cleanliness, as they say, is next to godliness. Cleanliness of our body. Because in the Yoga Sutra also it is said, when we keep our body clean, then we also develop a detachment towards the body. So it should be kept clean. Then our speech should be clean, should avoid all those words which are bad, bad words, negative words, should be avoided in our speech. Even when you have to convey something negative, we need not use very harsh, bad, vulgar words. So our speech should be clean by speaking the truth, by speaking it pleasantly, by speaking only those things which are for the welfare of the world. So, cleaning the speech, cleanliness of our antakarana, by doing our sadhana properly, keep the mind clean. Because in a clean mind only, the Supreme Self gets revealed. So that is called shaucha. Cleanliness, purity, outer as well as inner. So tejak kshama dhritish shaucham. Then adroho. Adroho, that desire not to harm anyone. Like ahimsa, this adroho is a deep desire not to hurt or harm any beings. Parajigansa abhava ahimsanam. Deeply one feels the pain, the sorrow, the suffering of other beings and doesn't do anything to cause more pain or sorrow through our action, through our speech, through our feelings, through our thinking, to our behavior, through our relationship, not to cause any suffering to anyone around. That is called adroha. किसी से द्रोह नहीं करना. Don't have enmity towards any beings. Don't have the desire to cause sorrow and suffering to other beings. Let all be happy. Let our friends be happy. Let our enemies also be happy. What does it matter? Let everyone be happy. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah. So adroho. Then na atimanita, absence of too much of pride. Atiman is pride, considering oneself great. Atmanah pujyata atishaya bhavana, that I am great. So that that is called atiman. We compare ourselves with others and then judge that we are greater than that other person. So have that strange worshipful attitude towards oneself, and consider everyone lesser than oneself. So this comparison is always at the level of ahankar, at the level of our possession, because the innermost self is same everywhere. If you compare the self, then the self is same. Atmaupamena sarvatra samam pashyati Arjuna. The yogi looks at the whole world compared to his own self, which is same. But when we compare others with our body, our mind, our wealth, our position, our name, our fame, our status, then we see this taratamya, we see someone greater, someone lesser, and somehow we judge that I am greater than others. So one has got lot of pride and vanity towards oneself. So that is atiman. And this atiman, if one has, then one is not available to understand the greatness and the beauty of that innermost self. If I am already fascinated by my ahankar, if I am worshipping my ahankar, then I am not available to worship that supreme reality. And that is, this atiman, later on Bhagavan will say, is a quality of a asura only. A Daivi person will not have this atimanita. See, we read the story, we hear the stories from the Puranas and all about all these asuras. One thing they had was great pride about themselves. Like Ravan, he considered himself as great. Like Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha, all of them, they had great this pride, vanity, pujya bhav towards themselves. So absence of this is called natimanita. So these are the 26 virtues mentioned here. Bhagavan says that bhavanti sampadam daivim abhijatasya bharata. Hey Bharata, hey Arjun, a person who is born, abhijatasya, one who is born with this sampatti, daivi sampatti, will have these lakshanas, will express this characteristic in his life. See, when we are born carrying certain samskar in us. Depending on our past karmas and our past lives, we are born with certain characteristics. Even a devta can be born as a asura, an asura can be born again as a devata. We hear stories of even the Parshadas, the Sevaks of Bhagwan Sri Vishnu, Jai and Vijay. They were the closest Sevak of Sri Vishnu Bhagwan. Just imagine. But they did something very bad. They treated saints not properly, and they were cursed, and they were born as asuras. They became Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. Later on they were born again as Ravan and Kumbhakarna. So these vrittis are there hidden within us, the Daivi as well as Asuri. But in a given lifetime, we are born with some predominant qualities. We might be born with a predominant Daivi Sampatti or a predominant Asuri Sampatti or a little combination of these two. But those who are purely having that Daivi Sampatti, they will express these qualities in their life automatically, knowingly. These qualities, these virtues are there within them. And in their behavior, in their life, it gets expressed. In their interaction with the world, it gets expressed automatically. The fearlessness will get expressed. The purity of their heart will get expressed. The love for knowledge will get expressed. By nature, they will be very generous. They want to share with the whole world. They will have control over their senses and will be always revering and worshipping that Supreme Ishvara in their life. Will be attracted to study the Shastras, will be totally what you call straightforward, free from all violence. So all these qualities will get expressed in those who are born with this Daivi Sampatti. So bhavanti sampadam daivim abhijatasya bharata. See, this Daivi Sampatti is expression of the Sattva Gun. And this Asuri Sampatti is the expression of Rajogun and Tamogun. The more and more that Rajogun and Tamogun are there, the more they express as this Asuri Sampatti. But even a person may be born with some Rajogun, Tamogun, but may not express that Asuri Sampatti, may have that divinity in that person. So it's a very, very strange thing. There are stories of those who are born in a low, what you call, with Asuri, not Asuri, but with Tamogun, but still they might show Daivi qualities in them. Like Bhakta Prahlad was born to a Asuri father, but he expressed divine qualities in his life. So he was born with those divine faculties, though physically he was born as Asura. But within him he had that divinity, the divine qualities were there. On the other hand, some may be born in a divine family, but may express devilish Asuri qualities. So this is also there, but wherever the divine qualities get expressed, it is because of the Sattva Gun within, and the Asuri qualities are expression of the Rajogun and Tamogun. श्रुतेजक्षमा दतिशौचमद्रोहो नातिमानिता भवन्ति सम्पदं दैवीम् अभिजातस्य भारत. So after elaborately talking about the Daivi Sampatti, now Bhagwan in the following verse reveals the Asuri Sampatti. See, only when we become aware, we recognize both this properly, we will be in a position to accept what is good and to reject what is bad. We should be able to distinguish between them properly. So after explaining, giving the lakshanas of the Daivi Sampatti, now Bhagwan reveals the Asuri Sampatti in the 4th verse. So he says, Dambho darpotimanascha krodha parushyameva cha ajnanam chabhijatasya partha sampadamasurim. Bhagwan says, Hey Partha, hey Arjuna, those who are born abhijatasya asurim sampadam, those who are born with Asuri Sampatti. How do we know they are born with the Asuri Sampatti? They will show these characteristics in their life. You will see these signs in their life. What are they? Dambha, Darpaha, Atimanaha, Krodha, Parushyameva, Ajnanancha. 6 negativities Bhagwan reveals here. He says they will have in their life Dambha. This is the first quality of first bad quality of a asura is Dambha. Dambha means to show something different from what he or she really is. Shankaracharya writes, Dharma Dhvajitvam. Outwardly they present something nice, something good, something beautiful. But inside they are filled with all kapat, cruelty, negativities. See, it's very strange that even the asuras, somewhere they also understand that the value of dharma, let us say, but they don't have dharma in their life. But they want the whole world to look at them as a dharmic person, look at them as a good person, look at them as a nice person. They want to present themselves as something which they are really not. That's called Dambha. Because they know. See, when Ravan, Asura, Ravan has got all the Asuri quality in him. But when he wanted to kidnap Sita ji, he did not present himself in front of Sita ji as Ravan. He knew that Sita ji will not come to him if he shows his real nature. So he took a form of a sadhu. He made himself look very nice and holy outwardly. And he approached Sita ji and asked for bhiksha. Bhiksham bhavati bhikshan dei. And Sita ji mistook him for a real sadhu. Because generally we see the outer form and we conclude that that person must be good. So this is a dambha only. So people show this dambha at all levels, in their dress, in their behavior, in their in their relationship, in their dealings. This dambha is there, hypocrisy, showing one thing outwardly, but something else within. So there is this dual personality is there. And a constant cheating the whole world, showing something which one is not. So constantly creating a wrong impression in this world. And in Kali Yuga, this becomes a norm, because this is what is done in every field in some way or other. In the field of advertisement, same thing happens. You show a product to the world in your advertisement, in the pictures and all. But actually the product is something else only. So when you see it, the image of the soft drink or some eatable or some dress or some vehicle and all, it is shown in such a way that person get attracted. But actually when you experience it, it is totally different. And they will have those models who are known in the world, who are famous, to attract people. Oh, such a great person, if he is eating that, then I should also eat. If he is drinking that soft drink, then I should also drink it. If he is valuing that dress, then I should also wear it. So like that, it's all cheating, all that dambha at all levels. In the political field also, during their election and all, they will give so many promises, make so many promises, and create such a beautiful picture of the whole world. If you elect me and I come to power, I will present the whole world in such a beautiful way for you, so everything will be fine. So create a wonderful picture, and people get cheated. Hanumanji had gone to bring that Sanjeevani, and Ravana wanted to stop him from completing that task. Somehow he wanted to prevent Hanumanji from getting that Sanjeevani from the Himalayas. So what can we do? What should be done? So Ravan had one friend, Asuri friend, Kalanemi. So he told that Kalanemi, you just dress as a sadhu and attract Hanumanji and somehow prevent him from getting that Sanjeevani. So as Hanumanji was going by, he saw that ashram and that Kalanemi was there as a sadhu. And Hanumanji, thinking that he is real sadhu, he did namaskar and all. But then he recognized him and he killed him. So this is the way of the asuras. When the devatas were getting that amrut, the Rahu and Ketu also, they took the form of a devatas and they were sitting there to take the amrut. Then the Surya Bhagwan and Chandrama recognized them. So it is the same thing, that Asuri Bhavana is there, because if I don't have goodness in my heart, it doesn't matter, they want to show it. I don't have strength, but show it to the world. I don't have confidence, but show it to the world. I don't have wealth, but show it somehow to the world. That hypocrisy is the main feature of a Asuri person. And when one has got this, one is bound, one gets stuck. A person having dambha is not available for higher learning. If one has already created this facade, this mask over himself, is not available to understand the true picture. Only when you remove that mask, you can see your real face. But if you are all the time putting on a mask, and whatever is given is only put on the mask, then the real face will never be seen. So a person with Asuri Sampatti will have that dambha, hypocrisy at all levels. See, as I said, that a person is born with this Asuri Sampatti, but a lot of these negativities are dormant within everyone. The goodness is also dormant and the bad qualities are also dormant. And they stick out at times. In some situation, we express Asuri characteristics. In some company, in some situation, at some times, or in some stages of our life, we might express it. So we should be able to recognize it. And as soon as you recognize, you drop them. That is the sadhana. Here Bhagwan is talking about it so that we recognize and drop it. So dambha, then darpaha. Darpa, a type of pride, vanity, based on what we have. Here Shankaracharya writes, dhana swajanadi nimitta utsekaha. Because of my wealth, because of my popularity, because of my strength and power and position, a person gets a sort of pride, a vanity. That's called dharpa. And when that dharpa comes, that person doesn't care for dharma, doesn't care for goodness, doesn't care for pap and punya, doesn't care for good behavior. एक प्रकार का दर्प उसको कहते दर्प. I know that person. How dare you stop me? How dare you ask for this toll money from me? You don't know me. I have this power, I have this. So you see every day in the news and in the TV and all, those ministers or some other officers and all, they're beating up the poor toll people who ask for your fare and all those things. Or some gatekeeper stops them or someone does their duty. They get all annoyed and start misbehaving with people. That's darpa, expression of darpa only. कि क्या समझते हो? मुझे नहीं पहचानते हो? What do you think? You don't know me. You don't know who is my father. You don't know where I work. So that type of darpa. You don't know how much wealth I have. I can buy the whole thing. It throws money like this. So this type of thing is a asuri vritti, darpa. And such people who had that darpa and all lying in the graves now. Ultimately, that is what our destination. People with all darpa, dambha and all of the past, where are they? Dead and gone. And again must have been born as some asura somewhere else. So we remain stuck in this samsara because of such negative behavior. It doesn't profit. One may think, because of my darpa, I am getting so much benefit. One doesn't profit. Ultimately, there is great loss. So darpaha. Then atimanaha. See, for the Daivi Sampatti, it was said na atimanita, absence of too much of man. But here, other Asuri person will have that Atima, considers himself great. I am great. I am most worshipful. I should be given first treatment. I should not be waiting in queue. My car should move first. My words should be listened by everyone. I should be worshipped and praised in my home, in my society. क्या समझते हो? आप जानते नहीं मैं कौन हूँ? Too much of pride, vanity, atima, पूज्यता अतिशय, अतिशय पूज्यता. As I said, this is because of seeing something in our body, in our mind, in our possession and all, and evaluating ourselves based on that. If you shift that attention from what that person has, that person is totally khali only. कुछ नहीं, खोखला है. And this thing comes in their life. Many times they have this so much of abhiman because of their wealth and all. But at times it comes when they are left alone. All their wealth is not there to take care of them. They're lying alone in some hospital. Even their families are not allowed to see them. And the nurses and the doctors also, they just do whatever duties are there and leave him alone. So that time he realizes, with all my wealth, with all my name, fame, position, nothing is there. It is said about this Alexander the Great. He also told his people that when I die, just see that my hands are kept outside, empty, just like that. So that the world should see that such a great Alexander, he is also leaving this world empty-handed. He cannot carry anything, even a little pin he cannot carry with him. Even one little coin he cannot carry. The immense wealth which he had accumulated, it is not helping him at all. So this Atima is also that characteristic of a Asuri person. Even when you tell such people, even when that person experiences lot of ups and downs in his life, he doesn't understand it. उसके दिमाग में नहीं जाती है बात. He continues to be filled with this Atima. So this is a inborn devilish quality. It is there, which will keep that person bound to this samsara, not only while living in this world now, but will be born again and again in such tragic life forms to experience sorrow and pain and suffering in this world. So, that Atima. Then Krodha, another negative quality of a Asuri person is Krodha, anger. That person is always as though angry, always irritated, restless, impatience, anger about everything. So even all these people around also will be totally frightened of that person. Anybody breathes also he gets angry. Somebody walks nearby, gets angry. Somebody speaks, he gets angry. On the road, they get angry. If some car is overtaking them, they are angry. If some person is delaying him, they get angry. Anger. at every moment. And that anger, see all these emotions, they express in our body as diseases. Most of our diseases are caused by this Asuri Sampatti only. Anger, Abhima, Damba, Darpa causes illnesses, different types. It affects our kidney, it affects our liver, affects our heart, affects the quality of our blood, affect our breathing, affect our digestion, affect the joints of our body, the bones. All this, because our body is expression of our mind only. Body is Sthula Sharir and that Antakarana is Sukshma Sharir. So Sukshma Sharir alone, for its own expression, it takes up this body. So the body is expression of our Sukshma Sharir. The thoughts and the emotions of our mind gets expressed on our Sthula Sharir. We eat food, but that food gets converted into our body. So this krodha, anger, always angry with himself, angry with his people around, angry with the devatas, angry with the ancestors, angry with the society, angry with the world. So such people nowadays also you will see them expressing their anger on the social media also. They will publish videos, they will express their views, they will start their slogans and all their anger, they vomit it out in different medias. Krodha. It is said that when our desires and gets obstructed, it gets converted into krodha. But some are there, asuri, they are always in that krodha avastha only. So krodha, then parushyam. Parushyam means what? Parusha vachanam, to speak harshly to people. Because that krodha gets expressed through our tongue first, in our speech. So they speak very harshly, with lot of cruelty, with lot of disrespect towards everyone. There's no such thing called they have that love for anyone. Their own wife, their own husband, their own children, their own parents, they will use such harsh words which are horrible. The parents who have taken care of them in their childhood have sacrificed their own comfort for the upbringing of this child. But when he grows, he behaves such badly towards his own parents, treating them so badly, talking ill, harshly, with their own others, husband, with the wife, with children, with the relatives, with the servants. They will never speak anything gentle. There is no mruduta. See, the asuras, they will have absence of all the Devi qualities which we have seen before. There will not be any softness in their dealings. There will not be any compassion in their heart. They will not have that truthfulness in their words and behavior also. So, parushyam. So one should be very careful. If any sign of this negativity is coming up in our life, we should recognize and stop them at that point itself. Drop them. So Parushyameva. Then Ajnanam, and the basic, the source of all their negativities and all is Ajnana only. Complete ignorance. Ignorance of their own self, that is there, common in all. Ignorance of Ishvara, ignorance of Dharma, ignorance of all good virtues, ignorant of his own goodness, what is good for my own welfare. They are not ignorant totally. Ajnana. And not available for knowledge from anyone else. Because of that dambha, darpa and all, they don't listen to anyone. See, Ravana is a very typical example of this asura. Hanumanji, the very embodiment of Shiva. Hanumanji was there in front of the Ravan. Hanumanji tried to teach that Ravan the path of goodness, the path of Sharanagati, the path of abandoning all these negativities and surrendering to Bhagwan Sri Ram, asking for forgiveness from him and giving back Sita Ji with proper respect and reverence. But Ravana could not understand this. He got annoyed with Hanumanji. He said, "You monkey, you think you are my teacher? I will show you." He told others to kill him. But then because of Vibhishan came, he said, "No, you can't kill a messenger." So Ravan thought, if not directly I kill him, indirectly I can kill him. I will burn his tail. So once the tail gets burned, he will anyway die. So he burnt the tail of Hanumanji. But Hanumanji is protected. He is Bhagwan's Bhakta. And that fire in his tail burned the whole of Lanka and destroyed that asura, Ravana asura, completely. So Ajnanam is there, fundamental, deep, about everything. So these are the basic 6 bad virtues, bad qualities, bad lakshanas, characteristics are given here of those who are born with asuri sampatti. उस संपत्ति को लेके ही उसका जन्म हो जाता है. It may not be seen in a little child, but its संपत्ति है उसके अंतःकरण में. As that child grows, then all the asuri things you will see getting expressed. Ravan as a little child must have been very nice, soft. But as he grew, it became so terrible, causing so much of pain and sorrow to all people around. So Ajnanam cha abhijatasya partha sampadam asurim. These are the asuri sampat. A person who is born with asuri sampat, they will have these characteristics. So Bhagwan revealed the 26 characteristics of a person who is born with Daivi Sampatti and 6 characteristics of those who are born with Asuri Sampatti. Now in the next verse, Bhagwan is telling us why he has revealed this knowledge. What is the purpose? What is the intention behind? Why should we know Daivi and Asuri Sampatti? He says in the next verse, Daivi Sampat Vimokshaya Nibandhaya Surimata Mashuchah Sampadam Daivim Abhijatosi Pandhava. Hey Pandhava, oh my dear Arjuna, you understand कि दैवी संपत्ति विमोक्षाय, this दैवी संपत्ति will take that person towards moksha. If I have दैवी संपत्ति, I am fit to attain moksha. It will lead me towards moksha. It will take me more and more towards my final goal automatically. This sampatti will help me. And on the other hand, nibandhaya asuri mata, and the asuri sampatti. If a person is born with asuri qualities, it will lead that person into more and more bondage. See, already we are bound in this samsara. But this asuri sampatti ties that person more vigorously to this samsara and gives lot of sorrow and pain, not only while living, but in the future lifetime also, is born more and more into negative life forms only. So this is clearly indicated, Daivi and Asuri. So Daivi leads to freedom and Asuri leads to bondage. So when Arjuna heard this, he was looking very sad and looking very, disturbed. Was thinking, wondering, what am I born with? So Bhagavan seeing him, he said, Ma Shuchaha, hey Arjuna, don't be sad, don't grieve, because you are born with Daivi Sampatti, Sampadam Daivim Abhijatosi Pandava, hey Pandava, you are born with this Daivi Sampatti. It might not be expressing fully, that is our sadhana, to let it express. And little bit of asuri here and there, we should be able to suppress or reject them. But you are born with this. See, it's like let us say you have a gold, and it is fallen into some kichad and all. It looks so bad, but when you clean it, again the shine, you can see the shining metal. So a Daivi Sampatti, person with Daivi Sampatti may appear with some dirt and some negativities in his life, but it is only external, it is only temporary, it's only light. So little bit of sadhana and little cleaning, and that goodness will shine forth with full glory. That is the beauty of satsang. That is the beauty of our sadhana. That inner divinity will shine forth. As Swami Vivekananda, he gave a very beautiful definition of education. He says education is to harness the inner potential, that inner divinity which is there in everyone. If we have that ability to harness in our citizens, in our people, that will be very good. See, when we send our children to school, the children have in them the potential divinity and potential asuri sampatti also. After the education, if their divinity gets revealed, then we can really be thankful to the education system. But even after going through all the education, if they come out with full of pride, ego, dambha, darpa, arrogance, lack of humility and all, it's a defect of our education system, not of the children. If Prahlad, who was born in an Asuri family, his father was the king of all the Asuras, Hiranyakashipu, if Prahlad can become a good person through satsang, because his mother had satsang with Naradji, she remained in Naradji's ashram, and when the child was born, he was born with Daivi Sampatti. So education can really transform our life. Education, if it is done properly, we can create Daivi, people, children. We can harness their Daivi Sampatti. So Bhagavan says, Daivi Sampat Vimokshaya. Daivi Sampat will lead a person towards moksha. And Nibandhaya Asuri Mata, and Asuri will lead a person into more and more bondage. But here, Arjuna, don't be sad. You are born with Daivi Sampat. And the same thing I will tell all of you who are listening to me, that all of you are born with this Daivi Sampatti. I am saying this so confidently because the very fact that you are listening to Bhagavad Gita, that itself is the proof. A person with Asuri Sampatti will not listen, will not have the capacity, that patience, that faith to listen to the words of Bhagavan. But that Sampatti needs strengthening, needs nourishment, needs harnessing, and little that Asuri thing which are like dust which have got accumulated, we have to take a bath and clean them. Then we are all set to attain moksha. Okay? So more about this we will see in our class tomorrow. So till then you take care, be happy, safe, peaceful, healthy. Do your work, do your sadhana, and recognize this Daivi Sampatti within, strengthen it, harness it, and be happy and march towards your supreme goal of moksha. Hari Om, and see you tomorrow. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram, 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 Jaya Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram. Bole Syavar Ramachandra Bhagwan ki Jai. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.